is one, and you're tapped and tuned in two perspectives where you and only you can change the way that you look at things, so the things that you look at will change for you. All right. I am Bennie Foster, your mentorship coach. You're tapped and tuned into the Impact channel. And I thank you for spending time out whenever you're watching this and tapping into this idea or this philosophy or this message that I want to share with you tonight called Happy ThanksLIVING. You may hear some noise. Some people are still up and about. Some people may even be coming in, getting a second meal. And we had a lot of family here earlier, so just getting a moment where I can keep to my promise, my covenant, that I would begin to do these lives every day. And that's what I'm working on, not missing a day. On yesterday, it was a great message. Go see it, where I talked about don't allow your limited opinions to hinder your unlimited opportunities. And so I am a teacher by credential and by heart. I have chosen to share and teach through social media. And what I want to talk to you today is about happy ThanksLIVING instead of just happy Thanksgiving. What has happened over the last, and I always do a test. This is just something I'm doing until I can get a team that can give me a thumbs up to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. So give me a second while I do that. Give some people an opportunity to come on in the room as well. I'm really getting used to the YouTube thing. I thank God for being patient with me. And I want you guys to be patient with me as well as we continue to grow this YouTube channel. One of the things that I know is happening is that people are growing and developing with us, not just on our YouTube, but also on our SKOOL. And our SKOOL is called the Impact channel as well. I'm trying to even that up. I'm looking forward to investing in more streaming equipment, things of that nature. One of the things that we have in front of us is just better preparing for the things that we know we want to invest in to be able to help more people and assist and serve more people. So I'm actually looking for the Impact channel right now. And let me see, there we are. And I thought we was already subscribed to that channel from this particular page. I recommend that you get a couple of YouTube pages so you'll be able to do things like what I'm doing now. Go on and check my volume. There we are. There we go. All right, we're good. So I want to be able to say this to you in a way that you can grab it, okay? I want to be able to say this in a way that, okay, on today, all around the world, people went and home, into family, into different areas of the globe to spend time with family, and we call it Thanksgiving. We call it a time that we all come together, enjoy some great food, laugh and talk with family, and it becomes ritualistic if you're not careful, because you're doing it out of the opportunistic type of thing that you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Some people only get Thursday off. You got to get on the road in the evening. And then you have Saturday and Sunday, so it's a long weekend, so you got time to go and spend time with family. And I said on another post earlier, and it was right before we were getting ready to eat, I said if you're married and you live in two different states or were born in two different states, that you and your spouse have to work out how you're going to shift that time and move according, like, okay, this Thanksgiving we're going to be with your family, this Christmas we're going to be with your family, and then you go. So you go from there, all right? So what I want you guys to fully understand is this. You have to now realize that it's not just about a day called Thanksgiving. What I want you to realize is that it's bigger than Thanksgiving. And give me a second, guys. Thank you for your patience. I want to share with you guys that when I say happy Thanksgiving, it's not just an idea. It's a concept that when you've reached a point to where you're very thankful for where you are, for the people, places, and things that you have in your life. And it's not a scare tactic, or it's not because you feel like that, you running out of chances or you running out of time, but it's when you learn to appreciate each and every day. No, happy Thanksgiving is what I said. Happy Thanksgiving. I said exactly what I said. And here's where we have to have a paradigm shift. Sometimes we're so stuck on what tradition has taught us and the way that we've done it, and yet we will rebel in certain ways once we feel like we don't have any hope or any other opportunities. But I'm here to tell you that you need to be doing an assessment and an evaluation of your life on a regular basis and see what works for you. There is actually biblical scripture where God says that his power is in effect because of the vain traditions of men. So I'm not knocking Thanksgiving. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, shouldn't you live a life of thanks living? You should be living a life of thanks. I believe this was prompted by a young man, and I celebrate him. He said he had got arrested and he served some time, and he promised God that if he ever got out, he wouldn't go back. He said the only thing he had was a traffic ticket and a seatbelt ticket, and both people let him off with a warning. And he said he was very thankful. And so every day he's living a life of being thankful, And so what I want you to do is, I want you guys to understand that some people don't have a life, and what they want to do is they literally want to come on to these to these things, and they want to come on to these platforms, and they want to jump on and try to say anything and everything to deter the people that should be listening. It's like a bad kid in a class. And it's amazing. I don't know if it's bots or what, but I know that the information that I'm sharing with you will change your perspective. And if you change your perspective, you will change your life. And there's a lot of stuff on social media that's not contributing anybody, changing their life. It's just entertainment. It's just something to make you laugh. It's just something to make you giggle, sniggle. You find yourself on there for 5 or 6 hours. And then the next thing you know, you leave away drained, and you go to sleep with all this stuff running around in your head, but yet you haven't learned anything, okay? So the biggest thing that I want everyone to understand is that, you are moving into a dispensation to where what is going to be your weapon. And several times throughout the Bible talks about joy being a strength. Joy is literally a weapon for you to advance no matter what you're going through. You guys hold on a second. And so what I want you guys to understand when I say happy Thanksgiving, like someone was saying, it should be Thanksgiving. No, happy Thanksgiving, living a life of thanks. Every day that you wake up, you remember where you could have been. Every day that you wake up, you realize that you got another chance to get it right or to move forward. That's the way that I live. I live a life of purpose, And when people say I'm good, I don't need, okay, why even comment? So it's like, again, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. I've taught for close to 40 years in the classroom, outside the classroom, re-entry programs, adult education, elementary education. And one of the most rewarding opportunities that I had to teach was when I was teaching 4-year-olds. Crisscross applesauce. That's right. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. And the 4-year-olds were so impressionable and open to learn. Like, come on, let's think about it. Even with me talking, and someone comes onto my YouTube and I'm sharing something about happy Thanksgiving, and you come on and say Thanksgiving, I say, no, I meant exactly what I said. And then they say, I'm good. I got worried about yourself. I'm not worried about you. You know, I am here for those that want to learn. And just like any other educator, any other teacher, that when you're teaching a class, the ones that obtain the information, the ones that retain the information, the ones that apply the information in life, apply the knowledge in life. Yeah, back then we didn't understand if Johnny had 5 apples and he gave Sarah 2, how many apples would he have? And then when we got to the money, if Johnny was given $20 and his mama told him to go buy some eggs and buy some bread, and the eggs cost $3 and the eggs cost $2, how much money did Johnny have left from the $20, you know, or $10, whatever it was I said? You know, you have to now be able to count, you have to be able to read, you have to be able to write, and those things were great. But some of the things that we learned in traditional school was just to retain information and see how well we can memorize things that we don't even use. I tell people all the time, you know, and so when I say a life of thanksgiving, I mentioned it earlier about the young man who said he had been arrested and been in jail, and he promised he would never go back. So he's living a life every day appreciative of the fact that he's no longer in jail. Does it have, I don't work, this is my school. This is the school I work at right here. The Impact channel is on SKOOL if you want to join that. And then the Impact channel here, my Instagram, my Facebook, whenever I go live. I have a master's in education. I can take baking pies and teach a class. I can take sewing and teach a class. I can take woodwork and teach a class. Anything that I know and I can get a good understanding of, I can turn around and teach that from the skills and the gift that I already had, but the talent and the gifts and the skills that were taught to me by other teachers and other administrators that took time out to pour into me. Okay, so I taught in Jackson briefly, and then I taught in Atlanta, different school districts. I taught in DeKalb, I taught at Towers High School, I taught at Columbia High School. I taught for the district of DeKalb as a post-secondary transition specialist. I also taught in Atlanta, and I taught also, I created my own programs for the Department of Juvenile Justice. I've also educated on the level of reentry programs, teaching young men and young ladies how to be prepared when they come back into society. Also done some group homes. I've done what they call DFACS in Georgia, Department of Family and Children Services. So I am an educator is what I'm trying to get across to you. And what I'm trying to teach you guys is the concept of tonight, that you should be saying happy Thanksgiving every day. You shouldn't wait till Thanksgiving to be around your family. You shouldn't wait till Thanksgiving and say, I'm gonna go around my family, we're gonna have a meal. And then I was talking about if you're married. If you're married, a husband and wife come together, the wife is from Miami and the husband is from California. So the husband family is in California and the wife family is in Miami. So you can't expect the husband to always go to the wife's family in Miami and never spend any type of holiday or anything with the husband's family in California. It just doesn't work. It's not gonna work. You should equally be able to go and spend time, okay? And so you gotta work that out, all right? So, so what I want you guys to grab tonight, and happy Thanksgiving to you all, but I want you to shift your mindset and begin to live a life of thanks-living. You're living a life of thanks. You're living a life of, I woke up this morning. You're living a life of, I may not like my job, but I'm appreciative to have a job. So let me make some moves. Let me get some credentials. Let me go and get some more knowledge and wisdom up under my belt so I can continue to move. If I'm not happy in my relationship, let me sit down and let me discuss what I'm not happy about. And guess what? Another person can't make you happy. Another person can't make you happy. I've heard men and women over the last couple of years say that they had a great mate, they had a great husband, they had a great wife, and they say that they messed it up because of them not working on them. So it all boils down to you. How are you gonna set the temperature in every room that you walk in? Are you gonna be the thermostat or are you gonna be the thermometer? The thermometer reacts to the temperature. The thermostat sets the temperature. And so you hear me say this, you're going to hear me say this a lot. When Miles Monroe said, if you don't understand the purpose of a thing, you will abuse it. And if you're not understanding the purpose of you, you will abuse yourself. You will sabotage yourself. You will set yourself back. So what I want you to do is I want you to begin to appreciate yourself. I want you to begin to think of the bigger picture. I want for you to begin to walk a fine line, a balance beam. Begin to say, how does that make them feel? I was abrupt. How does that make them feel that I said what I needed to say, but I didn't hear them out? Um, um, I prefer not to say it on this platform, but I heard two guys pull up to each other with some road rage, and the guy was like, "Hey man, you didn't see me," and then the other guy was like, "Hey man, guess what? This didn't happen for me this morning, this, that, and third like you, but is this something that we really want to mess up the rest of our day for?" And the guy looked at him, he said, "Man, you have a great day." He said, "You have a great day." So instead of them getting out shooting, instead of them getting out fighting, they talked through it. But they talked through it because the guy acknowledged, "Hey, maybe you're having a crappy day just like me." And that's what I mean by thanks living. If you're walking around upset, distraught, PO'd half of the time, walking around like a ticking time bomb, it's going to be hard for you to live a life called thanks living, which is really living in a constant appreciation, living in a mindset of thanks, living in a mindset of, I may not be exactly where I want to be, doing exactly what I want to do, but I know that it gets better if I just stay on track, if I just stay on the path, if I just stay focused, if I just continue to build up myself, if I just continue to learn what I'm supposed to learn, if I continue to ignore the haters, if I continue to just put blinders on and focus and set my face like flint toward wherever my Jerusalem is. And that means that your face is so hard that if anything hits you, all it do is create a spark. And so now you're at the point to where you're building up yourself, you cultivating yourself. And cultivation doesn't feel good. Cultivation is when somebody's digging around you, man. Cultivation is when somebody's irritating you. Cultivation is when somebody's frustrating you. Cultivation is when something is happening that you don't necessarily like. That's what cultivation is. Give me a second. So when I say the word cultivation to you, I'm talking about, let's think about what cultivation look like. Cultivation is where you take an iron object, of either a hoe, a garden hoe, or a shovel, or a tiller, and you're actually turning up ground. You actually turning up things that have been there and compacted down. And you're tilling, and you're cultivating, and you're irrigating, and you're irritating, and you're moving these things, these pieces that have been compactly fit together. Wounds, trauma, issues, the lions, the tigers, and bears, oh my, all of these things that may have been compactly fit to where you feel like, I'm good. I know that happened to me, but I'm good. I know I went through that, but I'm good. But it's been compacted. So when you begin to cultivate and when you begin to pull up all of that, when you begin to dig up all that, you got to think differently now. You got to think differently because you be like, oh, wow, I thought I was over that. Oh, wow, I thought I had moved past that. Oh, wow, I thought I had healed. But then when you uncover it, the wound is still there. I've had a wound like that before that took a while to heal. And the slightest touch or the slightest bump or the slightest sleeping wrong and that irritation, that wound comes back like it never left. And so can you live a life of thanksgiving? I was watching another TV show and I can see a message in anything. And it was these different women and they were meeting these guys and all of them had their own thing. And this one particular lady, she was resistant and trying to enjoy herself. and she was enjoying herself. She went through a whole day with the guy, and they had a great time, and they was going home, and she was all face all turned up, and she was mad, she was all mean. And then she said some kind of comment to the guy like, well, see, that's what's wrong with you men. You are always trying to not commit, you know. And he was like, what are you talking about? You know, we just had a beautiful day. We haven't even, he said, you ain't talked to me. We've been riding for almost an hour and a half, 2 hours. You ain't said nothing. We had a beautiful day. And the lady was like, so that's what I'm saying. So you skipping what I'm saying. He said, you know, I'm trying to talk to you now. I'm trying, what did I do wrong? What can I fix? Well, it's all about you, you know. And I'm looking at the lady like, wow. This guy just made you smile. I know it's a movie, but listen, I'm like, you've been looking mean, you've been mean mugging the whole show. This guy just made you smile, and now I'm saying he's trying to talk to you, trying to wrap the night up. You know, you called him, you needed him to help you do something. He went and did it. Y'all was on a high today. He helped you. You know, this guy was trying to scam you with doing something with your car. You figured it out, and all of a sudden now you sabotaging. That's not thanks living. That's not living in an appreciative mindset. That's not living in an appreciative posture, a posture of gratefulness, a posture of being thankful. And you're going to have to shift that in order for some things to come your way. You got to shift your energy. See, we are a walking ball of energy. It's the spirit on the inside of us. That's why I say you can have a broken and contrite spirit, or you can renew in me a right spirit. And you can have a dirty heart, and it say, create in me a clean heart, a pure heart. And the Bible talks about these things because if you're not operating under the auspice of a thanks living type of mindset, that you should find a silver lining, the silver lining in the cloud. You should be able to see the sun peeking out from the clouds. You should be able to realize that this too shall pass. You should be able to realize that weeping may endure for the night, but joy will come in the morning, because the joy of the Lord is your strength. If you don't have some of these tools, my God, if you don't have some of these things, you will find yourself as a party pooper. You'll find yourself as a negative Nancy. I say you'll find yourself as a doubting Thomas. And if you don't realize, what will happen is that you'll be walking around like a Jane Doe or a John Doe, because you have so many emotions running around in you, and you're trying to control them all instead of release them. And now you're walking around numb, and you don't know how to operate in thanks living a life of thanks. It's not just about family coming together and eating. It's not just about family traveling all around the world, and because some people didn't have family to go to. And they should be thankful, and they should find a community, because family is not always blood. There are families that have been created by people who are from different racial backgrounds, different genres, different types of customs and religions and traditions, and they have created a family on a common idea or a common past. And you too, the ones that may not have family, there's a family out there waiting on you to push past the hurt, to push past the anger, the despair, the trauma, the things that you've gone through, and say, where's my family? Where's my family? Begin to pray, God, send my family, God. God, send my family. Those of you that have family, begin to ask God to reconcile your family. Even to where if people can't always sit down and laugh and talk, they can at least be cordial and civil around one another. Because the worst thing you want to do is see that family member in a casket instead of catching a call from them. I want to encourage you. What is keeping you from a life of thanks living? What is keeping you from a life of happiness? Because if you're waiting on someone to make you happy, it's not going to happen. I say if you're waiting on someone to make you happy, it's not going to happen. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Yeah. If you're waiting on someone to make you happy, homeboy, homegirl, it's not going to happen. And so what you have to do now is you have to begin to live a life of purpose. You have to begin to live a life of intention. You have to begin to live a life that is actually shaping and forming into the vision and the dream that you have for your life. And until you do that, you're going to always be subject to the elements instead of allowing the elements to do what the plant does. The plant allows the sun to nourish it. It allows the rain, the storm to nourish it. It allows the stability of being planted in one place, not even having mobility to let it be rooted and grounded in something until it produces. ThanksLIVING. So I said it. Happy Thanksgiving. I said it. I'm not going to take it back. I don't care who doesn't get it. I care who gets it. I care who gets it. And I want you to go to the description. See? Because I'm making it plain. And the reason I know I'm effective is because all kind of distractions be happening online, where people come out of nowhere and they come with this anger out of nowhere. Like one day I hadn't even started good and somebody just came on with some foolishness. And I'm like, wow. And I know it's the small foxes that try to destroy the vine. The little small things, the little ignorant things, the little nuances, the little gnats to a lion. You know, and if you're not careful, you will allow the lions, the tigers and bears, oh my, to sit you down on something that God wants to stand you up in. Listen, man, I'm close to 60 years old, and I've seen a whole lot. And I'm going to leave this life empty. I'm going to leave this life offering wisdom, knowledge, mentorship, advice, all the stuff, all of the bridge building stuff that God has imparted in me. I'm going to give it to as many people as possible. So when you come to the Impact Channel, come here to learn. Come with a notepad. Get you a little $1.50 notepad, or get your tablet, or get your phone. Put it on record. Watch the video over. Don't come here. It's just like a teacher in a class, man. If you come in my class acting up, I just put you out. You know, and if you're not getting anything from the channel, just go. You know, I scroll all day. You know, I can go through right now and look at people on YouTube and say, I don't want to watch that. I'm not going to watch something and jump on somebody's page and say something crazy. I'm not going to do that. What does that say about you? What does it say about you as a person? Huh? See, I go through, if I'm not interested, I just keep scrolling. I just keep scrolling and I get to something that I'm interested in and I say, hey, I'm gonna chew on the meat and I'm gonna spit out the bones. I'm gonna put this in my little toolbox. That's something I can use. Matter of fact, what I do is I send myself a bunch of clips. If I'm on Facebook, I send it to my inbox, or I send it to my wife, Lisa. If I'm on Instagram, I do the same thing. If I'm on YouTube, I get the clip and I send it to my other phone. And I go back and look at it. Even if I'm in the middle of something else, even if something else is going on, I can't even hear it. If it's something that looks like it interests me, I go back. And sometimes, matter of fact, sometimes I do so many that I get behind. I do the same thing if it's something funny, or if it's something I want to watch, or I'm looking at something and say, what is that? But what I'm noticing is that a lot of time when I wake up in the morning, and I go on live, there's something going on crazy. There's a fight, there's a whatever. And so I've started to delete people. That's right. I've started to delete people that have negative stuff on their page. If you're on your page trying to get a bunch of likes and this, that, and third, whatever, because you're putting all kind of negative stuff, crazy stuff on your page, crazy pictures, this, that, and third, I will delete you. I will unfollow you. ThanksLIVING. And those of you that spew out hate and spew out anger and get mad because people don't operate in the same anger that you're carrying, woe unto you. Because the Bible says it is but impossible, but offenses will come. But woe unto to him from which the offense comes. Yeah. That's why it's always good to forgive those that trespass against you as you want to be, your trespasses to be forgiven. That's why you need to forgive, because you will offend people. Offenses will happen. But if you're not quick to forgive and you're not quick to let go, and if you're not quick to ask for forgiveness or apologize, that means you're carrying all the sins, which means missing the mark. All of those errors are on your back. Okay? And so tonight, I simply want to say to you, happy ThanksLIVING. Ask yourself, how can I live a life of ThanksLIVING? Where I'm appreciative, where I find the silver lining, where I take bad news with a grain of salt. I'm not saying don't be emotional. I'm not saying don't mourn. I'm not saying don't hurt. I'm not saying don't deal with pain. They say pain is a reminder that we are still alive. But I promise you the pain won't be forever. The only time the pain lasts forever is when you hold on to it. Embrace the attitude of gratitude tonight. Be more respectful as you are on social media. Be more thoughtful. Hear people out. Have a courageous conversation. That's a sign of maturity. When somebody can say something and you come on there for understanding, and I've seen people do it. I've seen people come in the comments and say, excuse me, may not be, I don't want to be offensive, but can you help me understand what you just post? And the person will say, sure, my brother, sure, my sister, or whatever. And they talk it out and they say, oh, because I thought that meant something else. Instead of coming on there saying blah, 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 blah. That is trespassing. And believe it or not, we're reaching a point to where you will be fined and you will be sought out for doing such things on social media. Even the IP addresses and everything will be tracked. And so that's not why you stop. You stop because it's wrong and that you should be living a life of ThanksLIVING. But I'm telling you that it's like you've been pumped full of emotions and you've been taught to walk around like everything is fine. And now all of a sudden they're going to switch it up, and you think because you done got away with it so many times that you can continue to do it. And what happens is now there's going to be an introduction to some things that are not going to be exactly what you like, because they didn't follow you on your social media. They see what you like. They didn't watch you and your algorithm, how your algorithm ticks and rises and falls, and the things you watch versus the things you don't watch. And they know how to get at you. Yeah, true story. They know how to get at you. And if you're not at a point to where you're not offended by every little thing, and when you're not ridiculing people, and when you're not chastising and judging and going off on people, it's not going to affect you. But those that it do, and some have already lost jobs and because they got put on social media, it's going past that now. It's going past the people that you videotape that's acting a fool and don't think nobody's going to follow them. It's going past that. It's going past to where now if you are acting out, if you are saying negative things, hate speech, if you are saying racial slurs, and that's for black people and white people. And now if you're not living that life of ThanksLIVING, you're going to get caught in the crosshairs. So I beseech you, my brothers and my sisters, consider living a life of ThanksLIVING. Consider waking up every day, praising God, thanking God for breath and life itself, for just being able to wake up and even look at a social media. If you have the opportunity to wake up and kiss your babies, to wake up and tell the person that you love them, your children, your spouse, your husband, your wife, to go in. Matter of fact, start talking to your coworkers more. Find out who you're working with. You will never know who you're working with unless you find out who you're working with. And you can't be too transparent now, because some people, you gotta take it slow. But it's okay. It's okay to get to know your coworkers. Know those that labor among you. Okay? So I'm Bennie Foster, man. I'm an educator at heart. I'm your mentorship coach. I just want to help you. I want to be the bridge and help you get to the life of thanks living. I appreciate you for watching. Drop something in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Definitely go into the description. Check out Rescuing the New You, book available now on Amazon, as well as the Diamond Life Perspective, which is a mentorship guide. We also have our school where each and every Monday through Friday, not this morning, we took a break. We do the international prayer broadcast, and we have been doing the revision revival, a virtual revival online. Both of those will resume on tomorrow. Today is November, I believe, November 27th, 2025. And I thank you for watching. I appreciate your love. Make sure you subscribe, turn that bell on so you'll know when we live. God bless y'all, man. I love y'all. Peace.